Digestive enzymes are one of the most commonly used supplements for digestive problems. People take them for things like bloating and gas, indigestion, food sensitivities, reflux, and all kinds of digestive symptoms. And sometimes they help tremendously. But most people don't really understand what digestive enzymes are, or what they do, or how to use them properly, or whether they actually even need them in the first place. So let's talk about all of that, and I'll fill you in on all about digestive enzymes. Hi, I'm Dr. Stephen Wangen, the founder and medical director of the IBS Treatment Center. We get a lot of patients who've tried enzymes, and we also use many different types of enzymes in our practice. And I'm going to share with you some of the basics about using enzymes and what enzymes do and what they're for, so that you will have a better understanding about how to use them yourself. And I'll tell you which products I really like. So first off, what are digestive enzymes? Well, digestive enzymes are a unique group of proteins that help break your food down into small enough components that your body can absorb the nutrients. And your body normally produces enzymes in several different places: in your saliva, in your stomach, in your pancreas, and in your small intestine. And these enzymes all help you break down proteins and fats and carbohydrates so that nutrients can be absorbed and used by your body. And if your enzyme activity is reduced, which can happen for a whole lot of different reasons, or if you have inflammation or other digestive issues, then digestion becomes less efficient and doesn't happen as well as it should. And you can get symptoms such as bloating and gas and indigestion and abdominal discomfort or even abdominal pain, and food reactions can occur. I need to mention what digestive enzymes are not, so that you can get a better appreciation for what they are. Now, one of the biggest sources of confusion that people have is that they're often lumped together, digestive enzymes are, with other digestive supplements that are not enzymes in the same, so they'll often put them in the same product. So here are a few examples. Digestive enzymes are not alive, and they're not probiotics. Sometimes people confuse that and think that those are the same thing. Probiotics are, of course, good bacteria that help support the gut microbiome. Digestive enzymes also do not technically include Betaine HCl. Betaine HCl is a chemical, it's hydrochloric acid. It's used to increase stomach acid levels. It can help people with low stomach acid, but it's not an enzyme. And these are very different things that work in very different ways. However, some enzyme products include Betaine HCl, and this may or may not be a good thing because you may or may not need HCl. Now, Betaine HCl has potential benefits, but it also has potential side effects, and there are many reasons you may not want Betaine HCl in your enzyme product. And the same is also true for bile, which you might see in an enzyme product. Now, we don't have time to get into those specific things, so we're going to focus this conversation on enzymes themselves. There are three main pancreatic enzymes. The pancreas produces many digestive enzymes, but the big three, these three do most of the heavy lifting, and these are protease, amylase, and lipase. And together, they are known as pancreatin. Now, protease digests protein. So if you eat meat or chicken or fish or eggs or dairy products or other protein-rich foods, of course, there's a lot of plant-based protein-rich foods, protease helps break down those proteins into amino acids that your body can absorb. And of course, everyone needs that. Lipase. Now, lipase digests fat, and this is another important digestive enzyme because fat can be difficult to digest without adequate lipase activity. And then there's amylase, and amylase digests carbohydrates and starches. So foods such as bread and pasta and rice and potatoes and grains and many vegetables rely heavily on amylase for digestion. And these three enzymes make up the foundation of most pancreatic enzyme formulas. Then there are other digestive enzymes. So many enzyme supplements contain additional enzymes that are designed to help digest other kinds of foods. So examples include things like lactase, which is for dairy products, or alpha-galactosidase, say that 3 times fast, alpha-galactosidase, which is for beans and certain vegetables. And then there's cellulase, which is for plant fibers, and hemicellulase, and beta-glucanase, and phytase, and invertase, and glucoamylase, and others. And in some cases, these enzymes are helpful because they have a broader spectrum of activity than just pancreatin, which I'll remind you is protease, amylase, and lipase. Let's talk about the difference between pancreatic enzymes and plant-based enzymes. Now, pancreatic enzymes are usually derived from the pancreas of animals, and they closely resemble the enzymes produced by the human pancreas. So the strengths are that they closely match what we already normally produce. And they are excellent for digesting fats and proteins and carbohydrates, and they're often used in cases of pancreatic insufficiency. The weaknesses are that they may have a limited variety of enzymes, which can also be a strength, which I'll get into in a little bit, depending on how you use it. And they may be less effective for breaking down certain plant fibers because they're not high in all of those kind of enzymes. Now, plant enzymes are typically derived from, of course, plants or fungal sources, and they are often high in things like bromelain or papain, which both of those are target proteins, and they also are often high in enzymes that target plant fibers. So their strengths are that they may have a broader range of digestive activity than pancreatin, and they often include enzymes for various fibers and complex carbohydrates that you get from plants. They're also vegetarian friendly, but the weaknesses are that they may not contain as much pancreatic enzyme activity as a pancreatic enzyme. And some people respond better to pancreatic formulas. So if you have a true pancreatic insufficiency, plant enzymes may or may not work as well as pancreatic enzymes. And the type of enzyme activity that you're going to need in the product that you take is going to vary from person to person. Then we have digestive enzymes versus systemic enzymes. So of course, digestive enzymes are used for digestion, but systemic enzymes can be taken for other purposes, such as for inflammation or for breaking down biofilms. And here's where it can get a little confusing, because digestive enzymes, as we've been talking about, are designed, of course, to help you break down food, and their purpose is to improve digestion and nutrient absorption. And that means that they're generally taken immediately before or with a meal. But other enzymes are taken differently. So biofilm enzymes are used as part of protocols designed to disrupt biofilms. And biofilms are these protective structures that bacteria and fungi can create around themselves, and they do this in your intestinal lining. So these biofilms, you can think of these as protective shields. And certain enzymes can help break down components of these biofilms, making the bacteria and fungi more accessible to treatments. That is, if they're bad guys that we're trying to treat. That's when we often need to break down biofilms. So these types of enzymes include a lot more hydrolases and cellulases and proteases, because that's what biofilms contain. And these products are taken away from meals, not with the meal, because the goal is not to digest your food, but to digest the biofilm. Then you've got anti-inflammatory enzymes. So some enzymes are also used for their potential anti-inflammatory effects. And these are primarily proteolytic enzymes and antioxidant enzymes. And these are often taken between meals as well, because the goal is not to digest your food better. The goal is to support the body's anti-inflammatory response. And note that there's a considerable amount of overlap between these 3 different uses for enzymes, and some of their therapeutic effect is not due just to the type of enzyme that you take. You might take the same type for several of these, but the timing of when you take it is different. How many enzymes should you take? And this is another area where people often make mistakes. And many people assume that 1 capsule per meal is enough or is normal. And sometimes it is, but sometimes it isn't. And the amount you need depends on a lot of different things. It depends on the overall size of the meal, for one. Depends on the amount of fat in the meal, the amount of protein in the meal, the amount and types of starch and carbohydrates in the meal. And of course, it depends on the type and potency of the enzyme product that you are taking. So a small breakfast may require very little enzyme support. A large protein meal may require significantly more enzyme activity. And that's why many products recommend anywhere from 1 to 3 capsules with a meal. And some people may need even more than that. So you will have to experiment in order to find out how much of an enzyme you need in order to properly digest the food that you're eating. But you'll be able to tell because it'll help, it'll work. If a little bit helps a little and a little bit more helps more, then you know you need it. That's how you'll know. Not all enzyme products are equally potent. So this is another common mistake that people make, is assuming that all enzyme products are roughly the same. They're not. And some enzyme products contain just a few enzymes and others contain 10, 15, or even 20 different enzymes. And at first glance, you might think more ingredients is better, but that's not always the case. In fact, that's often not the case. A capsule can only hold so much material, right? And as more and more ingredients are added to the capsule, the amount of each individual enzyme generally becomes smaller. So in other words, a product that contains 15 different enzymes may provide less of the particular enzyme that you really need, and therefore less benefit than a product that contains only, say, 3 enzymes. And this is especially important to keep in mind if you're trying to support digestion of a specific type of food. So for example, someone struggling primarily with fat digestion may need a product with a lot more lipase in it. Or someone struggling with protein digestion may need a lot more protease. Someone with a lactose intolerance may need more lactase, which is the enzyme that digests lactose. So a long ingredient list doesn't automatically mean a stronger or better product. It simply means that the available space inside the capsule has been divided among more ingredients. And this is one reason why 2 enzyme products may perform very differently in real life. So neither approach is automatically better. A broad spectrum formula will provide coverage for a wider variety of foods. A more concentrated formula will provide a higher potency of the specific enzymes that it contains for specific foods. And the best choice depends on your individual needs and what you are eating at that time. And regardless of which product you use, remember that 1 capsule is not always enough. If a meal is larger or higher in fat or higher in protein or whatever it is, you may need additional enzyme support simply because there's more food that needs to be digested. Now, do you actually have an enzyme deficiency? And this is a really important question, certainly in my world, because even if you find that enzymes are beneficial, you likely do not have an enzyme deficiency. A true pancreatic enzyme deficiency, also known as EPI, is actually relatively uncommon. In my clinical practice, the vast majority of people that I see who have digestive symptoms, even the ones who benefit from digestive enzymes, do not have a failing pancreas or a pancreatic insufficiency. More often, the enzymes are compensating for another digestive problem that still needs to be identified and addressed. And the enzymes are often helping to reduce the impact of the food on the digestive system and thus helping to reduce symptoms. And that's great if it's working, right? But it's important not to assume that the enzymes have solved the underlying problem. Very often, they're helping you manage a symptom while the real cause still needs to be addressed and treated. So please keep this in mind if you find enzymes to be helpful for you. Okay, so I promised you I'd say more about what enzyme products I actually like. And in many cases, I like to start with actually a very simple but a really high potency pancreatic enzyme product. And I provided a link to that product above and in the description. And I should note that there's nothing special about prescription enzymes. They do exist, such as Creon, and you can get enzymes just as strong or stronger on your own without a prescription, such as the one in the link that I just mentioned. Now, when I want to go with a more broad-based enzyme and cover a lot more ground, I use a very high-quality complex product like the one in the link above and in the description. It contains proteases, lipase, amylase, but also lactase, cellulase, alpha-galactosidase, and many other enzymes designed to support the digestion of fats, proteins, and all kinds of carbohydrates, dairy products, and all kinds of plant fibers. And this product is also vegetarian for people who prefer that. Now, the bottom line is that digestive enzymes can be extremely helpful, but it's important to understand what they are and what they're not. They're not probiotics, they're not Betaine HCl, pancreatic enzymes, and plant-based enzymes each have advantages and disadvantages. And enzymes can be used for things other than digesting food. And quantity and potency matters a lot. So read the ingredients. You may need more than one capsule depending on the product and the meal. And true pancreatic insufficiency, pancreatic enzyme insufficiency, I should say, is uncommon. And if enzymes help, that's wonderful, that's awesome, but don't stop asking why you needed them in the first place. Because while enzymes can be a valuable tool, they're often helping compensate for a deeper digestive issue that still needs attention. If you've been struggling with digestive symptoms and haven't found real answers, we'd be happy to work with you. Regardless of where you live, we can help you via telemedicine, and we've been doing that since 2005. Thank you for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more digestive health insights. And remember to take good care of your body. It's the only place that you have to live. Thank you for watching. We create informative videos like this weekly. So if you enjoyed it, please help our channel by sharing a screenshot or the link to the video on Facebook or Instagram or your favorite social media. And be sure to tag me wherever you post and let me know what you liked about the video and what topics you'd like me to discuss in the future. If you visit our website at ibstreatmentcenter.com, we're currently offering a free ebook on how to beat IBS, so be sure to check that out. It's time to take control of your digestive problems and get your life back. I'd also appreciate it if you could subscribe to our channel here, like this video, and leave a comment or question below. I'll do my best to read and respond to all of them. Thank you, and until next time.